All right, we are going to be talking about Gen Con games, and this is actually being recorded on YouTube as well, probably. We're testing this out live, and so if it records well and all goes well, this might be a video that we post on there as well. But let's go ahead and give some parameters for what this list will entail, because I think probably our lists are not exactly the same on how we approach them. But what we did is we said, let's look at games that first off, let's look at the Board Game Geek preview, Gen Con preview, which includes a section for games that are being demoed, and then you can filter it out and say games that are for sale. And so that's what I did. I took all of those games that are to be demoed and I made a list. All the games that are being sold and I made a list, and then somehow like figured it out from there. I don't know how helpful that is, but I do know my list is not just games that are being demoed or just games that are being sold. I actually have a combination between the two.
Yeah, mine is the same. I am looking at games that are both demoed and for sale, and some of mine I don't think are on the Gen Con list.
What?
As far as the preview.
Whoa, you're flying off the handle now.
Well,
you're just doing what you want to do.
I have some insider information.
Okay.
From various people, just because I've backed various crowdfunding projects, and so they've sent out some stuff telling backers that this will be there, and I'm not sure those are actually on the BGG list, at least not yet. We are recording this a little bit in advance, and as of last night when I checked, they had not made it yet. But I am very, very excited about some of these. Now, I will say, though, many have said, and I kind of feel this way too, the list itself to choose from was not necessarily the most exciting list. There's been a lot of people who have said that so far the preview list seems to be a little less than this year, a little lacking in some heavy games. But as I was looking at it, though, there were still a lot more games that I was excited about than I thought. How did you feel overall looking at the BGG preview?
I don't know. I might fall in that other category of the people. I don't think I was super excited going through most of these. Now I could come up with a list of 5. I can come up with a list of 5 games that are being sold and games that are being demoed. But I don't feel as excited this year about some of the releases as I have in years past. But there's always things that come out. Fantasy Flight always does some big reveals the weekend of Gen Con that you've never heard of before. And so I'm excited to see things like that. But as far as just looking at this list, I don't think I was getting super jazzed about a lot of things.
Gotcha. Well, do we want to talk about some of our honorable mentions first and then go through our top 5? Is that how we want to do it and just throw those out there, or save them for the end?
No. Let's go ahead and
okay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do some honorable mentions first. I think that's fine.
All right, cool. You first, since you apparently don't care about any of the games on this list.
Ooh, you know what? I hope I don't actually spoil anything and talk about games that Okay. I messed up my list in my honorable mention list. Okay, so a couple things that I'm excited about that didn't quite make the list. And one is War of the Ring expansion. Yep. I really like that game. Deron introduced that to me a little while back. I picked up the game, and now I want the expansion, especially because it does have that, I think, solo aspect to it as well. I'm intrigued in trying that out. So if I was at Gen Con, that would be one of the places that I would go to pick that up. Catan Starfare's expansion, New Encounters, I would be going to pick that up as well. Really, really like Catan Starfare's. It's, one of my favorite in the last several years. I would head over to the Osprey booth and pick up General Orders and Undaunted stuff, and then maybe make my way over to the, what is it, Trick or Treat?
Studios.
Trick or Treat Studios. They've got a lot of cool stuff that's coming out. That actually probably would have been number 6 on my list is my guess, but they've got the new Gold West edition that is apparently going to be for sale. The Halloween game, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think all of those are going to be for sale. So I'd be pretty pumped. And then the last one, the only reason this one didn't make my list actually is because it's 3 to 6 players, but Queen by Midnight. I don't know if you've seen this one.
I have briefly.
Okay. has the most intriguing art out of any game coming out, and I
Yeah.
don't even think it's close. I think the art on this is incredible, draws you in. The gameplay looks like it's really cool. The theme of it is that you are this queen has died, and now somebody else needs to come in as the queen, but you have to battle it out. And whoever's standing on top at midnight is going to become the queen. There's a dice tower included in here, and lots of cool card play. But it's 3 to 6 players, and I'm not getting a lot of 3 to 6 player games that are of any substance. Most of the anything over three, I'm our family style games that I'm getting played these days. So anyway, that's my honorable
Gotcha.
mentions.
Alrighty, for me, and again, I will say, part of my cheating also includes the fact that I am not including some of the games that I have already like pre-ordered or played or had some kind of experience with. So there's tons of games. Like my honorable mention list was like 20 something games that I want to talk about, but I've already pre-ordered them or have some kind of contact. I want to talk about them again here in the future. Like you mentioned, War of the Ring, Against the Shadow, the solo and co-op expansion that I've already got that on pre-order. I'm not talking about those kind of games. But some of the ones that I did pick up on, another Phil Walker Harding game coming out, Spellbook. I've seen lots of neat stuff about that. I won't talk too in depth about on these, but they are honorable mentions. Go check them out. Spellbook, Phil Walker Harding. Art looks great on that one too. A little card game called District Noir. I'm loving these little simple, quirky, quick plan card games. Dig the art on that, the whole theme behind it. I'm looking forward to that one too. Another card game, Bonanza Dahlias. Have you seen anything about this?
Yeah, I have. I have zero interest in it though.
so so again, I've never played Bonanza. I know
It's fun.
nothing about
I
it.
like Bonanza. It's a good game.
I hear good things. It's Uwe Rosenberg. One of the things that have always put me off about trying that one is just the beans, the art on the beans, and some of the other stuff. Like I can't get into it. But when Beth Sobel goes to Uwe and the crew and says, "Look, I want to do this game, but I want to draw the art, and make it flowers." Okay, that I'll give a shot. So I'm looking forward to that one. Wandering
Which,
Towers.
by the way, let me
Go ahead.
clarify what I said. I'm not interested because I already have Bonanza, and
Gotcha.
the flower theme just doesn't grab me.
It's because
Beth
you hate
Sobel art,
nature.
yes, that's right. But Beth Sobel art does grab me. I really love a lot. I mean, most everything that she does. Honestly, I like it a lot. But I don't need it, I guess, is what I'm getting at.
Got you. I'm clarified that because I'm glad that you clarified that because all the residents of MeepleTown think you're a jerk now. So the another game, Cromer and Kiesling's Wandering Towers.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
and I think now BGG has this listed as a 2022 game. So I don't know how much older this is. I've seen some reviews that are a year or so old, but I've also seen some that are here recent. So I'm not quite sure how expansive this game is, if you're already able to get it or not. But Wandering Tower sounds pretty good from them. Simple game where you're, magic school students and you're trying to move them around the board basically and trying to get everybody into the tower so that way they can take their final exam. And the board is all these really cool cardboard towers that you construct. And you lay them out in a circle and you're moving them around and you're trapping wizards. It seems, again, like a light game, but looks like a lot of fun from them. And lastly, honorable mention, this was supposed to be there at Gen Con, but I have not seen anything else on it about whether it will be there or not. But this is a reprint of Tales of Arabian Nights. This is Tales of Arthurian Nights.
that's right.
We were talking a few weeks ago about wanting a game that actually had Arthur the Knights of the Round Table in it. Maybe this is the one, the storytelling. I've never played the other, but this one seems like it might be worth checking out at some point in time. But those are my honorable mentions.
Yeah. Yep. I. Yep. I. I don't know what to say about this one. Yes, I'm excited to try this one. I don't know if that's going to be my style game. You might think,
Yeah, I
what?
don't know
I mean,
either.
of course that would be your style game, but I just haven't played it and I haven't dug enough into it to see. I don't know. That's when I feel like I would have to experience some things that I've heard about the original, the Tales of Arabian Nights, made me think I probably wouldn't like it, but who knows? I'm intrigued by that one as well. That's a good call.
And I'll say this too, again, looking at my list, I'm not saying these are the best or most exciting games there at Gen Con. These are the ones that do something for me that I really want to check out. I'm very curious about. So we shall see. What have you got? What's your number 5?
All right, my number 5 is. I have to do that because I can't find my list yet. There we go. My number 5 is one that is supposed to be for sale at Gen Con. I just confirmed that it does look like it is. It is for sale. That is the Lost Ruins of Arnak expansion. It's called the Missing Expedition. So it says, let me just read this for you. It says that in this expansion, you can test the strategies offered by 2 new leaders, which is good. More leaders is always a good thing. Explore new paths to knowledge on 2 new research tracks, which, hey, add more research tracks on this game, and I'm all for it. And you're going to have new artifacts, items, and assistants. So all of those things, it's just more of Arnak, which I'm all for that because I don't necessarily need new mechanisms in this game. I love the way that the game plays, but especially with the research. Well, no, both, but with both the new leaders and new research tracks, those are the things that I'm most jazzed about. So that's my number 5. I would be doing my best to go pick that up if I was going to Gen Con for sure.
Yeah, I still haven't played Lost Ruins of Arnak. So maybe one of these days.
Deron is no longer allowed on the show. Have you played Dune Imperium?
I do really enjoy Dune Imperium.
And you like Endless Winter too, if I
I
remember right.
really enjoy Endless Winter.
Yeah, I think it's at least a try. It doesn't connect with everybody in the same way. I prefer
Right.
this to Dune Imperium, but I understand there's a lot of reasons to like Dune Imperium better. Something about Arnak just draws me in, and I love this game every time I play it. I think you would enjoy it too. Not as thematic, but it still has that fun, dual dual different mechanisms of worker placement and deck building. Two of my favorites. So
Yeah.
be worth
That's
checking
cool.
out. That is Lost Ruins of Arnak: The Missing Expedition. My
My
number
number
5.
5. My number 5. My number 5 is and I still can't believe I'm putting this on my list. My number 5 is the Call of Cthulhu Horror on the Orient Express, the board game. Maybe the longest title I've ever said. This is a game that's going to be up for demo. It's not even coming out until 2025, so this is a really early stage of a game. But I'm curious about it. This is Michael Golubowski, who helped with Destinies. Sorry if I butchered your name, Michael. And Adam Kopinski, who's known for Nemesis and other games, The Origins, The First Builders. Published by Chaosium, and 1 to 4 player game, 90 to 100 minutes. And this is in the world of Call of Cthulhu, horror, mystery, tabletop RPG, which typically is not my thing. I've not played that before. But it's set in that world. And of course, it's set on one of the most famous trains ever. And so in the game, you're traveling into the dreamlands and you've got monsters and cultists and vampires that are hunting you. And you're trying to defeat them while discovering the secrets of the Orient Express. It's a co-op game. You're controlling a character who obviously is going to learn new skills, and you're going to gather items and talk to passengers and discover clues. It's got this whole deck bag pool building mechanism and pushing your luck and narrative choice and a modular board. I'm intrigued. I've always kind of been intrigued by the theme of the RPG, and so I'm very curious to try a board game version of this, especially with the Orient Express. You put that in there, it hooks me for whatever reason. Maybe it's because my mom read all those Agatha Christie novels when I was growing up, and I watched all those old movies. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, intrigued is the word I would put on there too. I don't know how I feel about this. I saw this one, did not make my list or my short list even. Something about the box doesn't. I don't like it.
Interesting.
But
Okay.
the thing that gets me excited, I mean, I'm a thematic guy. Adam Kwapinski being involved in this is the thing that does have me excited.
Right.
So, I mean, the more information that comes out, more components, all that sort of thing, that my mind might change very quickly. But right now, that's one that I'm just not super jazzed about, other than the fact that he's involved in it.
Yeah, and like you said, I really like his stuff. Like I really like Nemesis, and the way that he can cinematically tell a story through a board game, which I think will play well with this, especially with Michael from Destinies, which I've not played, but I know that gets lots of rave reviews about the way they're able to tell stories and that. I think putting those two abilities together could make this something really special, especially since it's standing on the shoulders of a very well known and um, loved tabletop RPG. So I'm curious. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah,
That
and
is
I do love Destinies. I think that's a fantastic game. So
so. There you go. That's number 5. Call of Cthulhu Horror on the Orient Express: the board game.
I also didn't put it on my list because I knew I would have to say the game multiple times, and I don't want to have to. I need short names. So speaking of which, my number 4 is Unmatched. Just one word.
Nice. No, there's more. Which
Actually,
one?
so here's what I would say. My number 4 is Restoration Games. Okay, the
Cheater.
Restoration Games booth. Yep, I know. I'm cheating. I almost put Renegade Games booth on here too. That was another short list because they have a couple reprints. It didn't make my list because they're reprints, but I'm excited about the uh, what is it? Robo Rally and what's the other one? Acquire. That's coming out at
Mm.
Renegade. That is not on my list, but I'm just throwing that out there. That's a bonus. It's a bonus
Ooh,
game.
bonus pick.
Okay, so my number 4 is the Restoration Games booth, where I would go and I would see, can I pick up Unmatched Brains and Brawn? That would be number 1. Well, not in any order. Okay, I would see if I could play the new Unmatched Amazed, which is the Unmatched Adventures Tales to Amaze. Excuse me.
Mhm.
This is the new cooperative version that's coming out. Now you back this, and so I know that you're
Yes.
excited about this, which is why it's not on your list. I'm guessing.
Correct.
My understanding, though, I was reading, this has been a minute, but I was thinking that all of those were coming on the same shipment, the Brains and Brawn and the Tales to Amaze.
I think you had the option to, if you wanted to throw that in there as an add-on, you
Okay,
could.
okay,
But
but
that
it's
game has already been in circulation. Yeah.
okay, but it's listed as a game. Maybe that's because if you backed it, that was the option. But it's listed as a demo, not as one that they have for sale. So I'm guessing they're going to complete.
Oh, okay.
Uh, Maybe they're going to get those out to backers first. I don't know. Who
Maybe
knows?
so.
That's all speculation. Don't quote me on that.
Gotcha.
But the thing that I actually, this might be the number one thing I would do is I would run there to see if they have any copies of Thunder Road Vendetta Chrome, the Chrome
Maximum
edition,
Chrome.
Maximum Chrome for sale.
Yes.
Now they don't have any of that listed online. I can't tell you how sad I am and how many times I've looked for that game online for a reasonable price. I want it bad. I want it so bad. So
Yeah,
I would run
that's
to the booth. Actually, this would be the first thing that I would do, honestly. If I knew they had Maximum Chrome, Thunder Road Vendetta, I would run there to go pick it up. So that is
gotcha.
my number 4, all things restoration games. I can do
Is
that,
any
right?
is anyone else thrown off? You said it's the first thing you would do, and it's your number 4. I'm so confused. I can't wait to
Well,
see what.
it's because they don't have it listed on that.
I
It
know.
says that they
I
have Thunder
know.
Road for sale, but I don't know which version they
Yeah.
have.
Yeah. The preview just has the base game up there, but
Let
yeah.
me tell you, I would be running to all of these booths, but they're not all the games that are for sale on my list. I'll try to
Okay.
mention the ones that are. I don't know. Some of these I'm a little unsure about. So that's my number 4. Yep, Unmatched Restoration Games, all their stuff.
Very good. My number 4 is not a booth that I will run to, but it's definitely one I'm going to swing by because I'm hoping to pick this up. They said it's going to be there for demo, potentially, and for sale. According to the preview, that is World Wonders.
Oh yeah.
This is designed by Z Mendez and published by Meeple BR or Meeple Brazil. This is a Brazilian company. It's 1 to 5 players, plays in 50 to 70 minutes, and in this game, you are taking on the role of great leaders from the past to build your own ancient city. You're using action points, you're laying out these polyomino city tiles, and you're building roads, and you're building these big, chunky wooden wonders. And I'm excited about like Machu Picchu and Petra and pyramids and Easter Island statues and all kinds of good stuff. There's several tracks that you're moving up there on your own player board, like population and various other resources, and you're going to score the lowest tracks. You got to work up all the tracks and build out your little personal player board, almost a Barren Park kind of style, but with tracks and chunky wonders. I saw the dice
That was
tower talk.
my nickname in high school, the Chunky Wonder. I got him. I broke him. I got.
I've lost it. Show is over. Oh my gosh.
I did it.
I don't
He's
know if
not
I can
recovering from
recover.
that.
Chunky Wonder. Oh, I can't wait to do the intro to the next episode. But I saw the Dice Tower talking about this one, and they were pretty big on it, and I think I am too. It looks a bit like a lighter game. It's the weight right now in BGG is maybe 2.1 or 2.2, so it's going to be a little lighter medium. But this looks like it could be a lot of fun.
Yep. Yeah. When I saw the review for this from Dice Tower, I immediately went to go see if it was available because it does look really cool. But then the more I think about it, do I need another one of these type of games? Maybe not.
Right.
Maybe it
Right.
would replace something. I've got Baron Park in my collection still. Maybe it would replace a game like that. Although I really like Baron Park, so do I need another?
Yeah. See, same with me, because I was thinking about that, because this is the whole mental process I go through. Okay, I have some tile laying games. I have things like Barren Park where you put down a polyomino tile, and if you cover an icon, you're going to gain a certain resource. I have that. I like some of the city building. Well, like I've pre-ordered Mist over Carcassonne. You mentioned that earlier.
Oh yeah.
Tile laying, road building kind of deal. I'm looking forward to it. So I've got a few lighter ones of those. But to me, the difference is if you take something like that and it puts in a different setting, again, maybe it's just psychologically, it's a different setting, your civilization building, you're putting out these different wonders from around the world. That automatically intrigues me. I have such a love for travel and other cultures and how ancient civilizations have been formed, developed. And I know this is just a simple game, but just that idea that's connected to it and gives me something tactile that I can mess with and do. I don't know. It sounds intriguing. That's why I'm saying I hope it's there for demo. I'm not sure that it will be, but it does seem to be there for purchase. And if it's not too expensive, I might pick it up. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good pick.
Yep. That is number 4. My number 4 anyway. World Wonders.
All right, my number 3 is a game that I really went back and forth on whether or not I was going to back this. This one is listed as being, let me see, as a game for sale. My guess is it's probably a limited copies of this, but it's Last Light by Roy Kennedy is the designer of this one from Dice Tower, and it's published by Gray Fox Games. This is a 4X game that plays in about an hour, and it plays up to, with all the expansion stuff, I believe it plays up to 8 players.
Wow.
Although the base game itself is 4 players, I think it's 8. It's a lot, but you're playing simultaneously, which is why it can play so fast. But you're going to be exploring planets. It's got this rotating board, and I'm curious. Oh, and it has asymmetrical alien factions. So they're all gathering up light before the heat death of the universe. So everything's going to burn up at the end of this game. So really, it doesn't even matter who wins, right? Because nobody really wins this game.
I mean, does anything matter, Dean? Eventually, we're all going to die.
That's right. That's what this game is going to do. It's going to make you very sad by the time you finish it up.
Existential crisis all around.
I've heard so many good things about this. This is maybe my biggest regret of games that I have not backed. I don't have all the money in the world. I cannot afford every game that exists. And this is one of those that I just had to make a decision. I just don't have the money to do it. And I really, really want it so bad. So I've considered selling kidneys and things like that, but I felt like maybe there's another game that's going to come out that's going to make me want to sell my kidney, and I won't have one to sell.
Yeah.
But
Decisions.
I'm really intrigued by this. If I had all the money in the world, this would be one that I would for sure purchase everything for. Just can't do it, but it's still my number 3 because I'd be intrigued to at least go try to play this if I could. That's did you back this? You
I
interested in this at all?
I did not. I'm interested. I would like to play it one primarily just because Roy designed it, and I
Yeah.
think that would be neat to play his game. And um, the whole 4X space genre doesn't necessarily speak to me, but I would play it for that reason. And I'm sure Roy would be excited to hear that you would be willing to sell your body to back his game. And
Well, I haven't backed it up. I mean, I can say that, but the truth is I still have my kidneys.
well, you need to hoss up because being someone who has sold their body for board gaming, um, that is selling plasma
That
just
is
to
true.
just to back a game. More on that later. But Roy should be pleased and thrilled by your pick. If you pick it up at some point, I'll play it with you.
This actually made a top list of mine anticipated games like 2 years ago, maybe, or last year, something like that. But it has made a top list before. Top list
Thank you.
before.
Yep.
Very excited about this one. Yeah, this one will get
Cool.
played. I'm guessing I have some friends that did back this, so hopefully I can get to play this at some point. That is
Gotcha.
Last Light, my number 3.
Excellent. This should be a quick one. My number 3 is Dixit Disney Edition. This one will be up for demo. And I know, hey, it's Dixit. It's been around
Oh, this is
forever.
not for sale.
It is not. It's just for demo.
Okay.
Because my understanding is the retail release will be in September, like September 15th. And I'm almost positive it's a Barnes & Noble exclusive, at least at first. But they're going to be there demoing this. If you know anything about Dixit, this is designed by Jean-Louis Rubira. Forgive me if I mispronounce it. And illustrated by Natalie Dumbois and published by Libellude. It's a 3 to 6 player, 30-minute classic party game, but in a Disney edition. This is the kind of game where, again, if you have not played Dixit, everyone has a hand of cards. One person's a storyteller. They select a card from their hand secretly. They give a clue to everyone else that they believe describes that card. Everyone else selects a card from their hands that they think best describes the clue that was given to them. The storyteller takes all the selected cards and shuffles them up and displays them out for everyone to see. And then everyone guesses on which card they think is the one that belongs to the storyteller. And if everybody or nobody guesses the right card, then the storyteller gets 0 points and everybody else gets 2 points. Otherwise, the storyteller and all the people that guessed the storyteller's card would get 3 points. And if somebody wrongly guesses your card, you also get a point. And it's the first to 30 wins. Dixit is classic. It's a great one. And apparently in this game, each card represents one of the 84 Disney and Pixar films, all the way back from Steamboat Willie, all the way up to Turning Red. So I'm sure this will be successful and there will be some expansions in the future that will play on the movies that maybe they didn't cover or the ones that will come out beyond Turning Red. So
Do you
yeah,
think
Disney.
there's enough content out there that they could expand on this? I mean, are there enough movies that?
Yeah, that's it's really going to be something. I mean, I've been blown away by how they've expanded just on Dixit alone. I mean, there's multiple expansions. So I think they can get really creative with the Disney license and come up with plenty of material. Have you seen this? Were you excited about this one?
Yeah, in fact, when BJ and I did that list of Disney games for that podcast episode, I talked about Dixit as being one of the ones that I'm really
Right.
excited about coming out. We like Dixit in our family, and I've introduced it to a lot of students here. Yep, it's always been a big hit. It's
It's a
a
good
really
one.
fun game, and throw Disney art in there in that Dixit style of art. I guess I'm pumped about that.
That's what I think I'm most excited about. I've not seen any of the cards, but if they're taking these movies and putting them in that Dixit style, man, that'd be super cool. I can't wait. So yeah, my number 3, Disney Dixit Edition.
All right, speaking of Disney, we're going to talk about Star Wars. I threw you off a little bit, didn't I?
It still counts.
Okay. All right. So, Star Wars Unlimited, which is a
Mhm.
fantasy flight game, which I the more I think about it, I don't know if I should have put it up this high because it is a card collectible card game. It's a CCG or a TCG trading card game that I don't have an interest in chasing a lot of things in these collectible games. Um, but it is Star Wars, and it is a Star Wars card game from Fantasy Flight Games. So I'm pretty excited about that. It says fast paced, dynamic game that is both easy to learn and strategically deep. This game features iconic heroes, villains, ships, and settings from all facets of the legendary Star Wars franchise, including movies, TV, comics, video games, and everything in between. So I'm excited about this for a couple reasons. One, it's Star Wars. Two, it is as best I can tell, this is like a just a straight up head to head, a normal CCG type game. It doesn't even say how many players. I'm assuming it's going to be a 1v1, but I don't know. I don't know that for sure. The thing that really draws me in though is the art. It's not normal Star Wars art that you see in a lot of these other ones. It's these, from the best I can tell, unless it's from something else, it seems like these are brand new illustrations of more of a cartoony style look. I guess is the best way that I can explain that. And I'm guessing, in a lot of these CCGs where you have a lot of art, there's going to be a lot of different artists involved in this. So that's my guess, but it does seem more of a like 80s, early 90s cartoon style is the vibe that I get when I look at the art on this. So I'm excited about this. It's for demo, it's not for sale. I would definitely want to go check it out just to see if it's a game that I would want to play. Not that I want to chase all the rares or anything like that, but what I want to do is just play it.
Yeah, this is one that I am going to get a chance to demo. It's one of the events that I signed up for at Gen Con. I don't know how I feel about it. We've mentioned this before. I've never played any of the collectible card games. It's not really my thing, but um, we've mentioned one in the past that may or may not be on our list here soon. And then there's this one. So it is, because of the Star Wars license, it's enough to make me want to go and try it out. Um, the art, I know you love the art. The art is not my favorite of the Star Wars art, but
Mm.
it is growing on me.
It's
So
different,
yeah,
which
it
is
is
what
different.
draws me in.
Yeah, it's different. So I'm curious. Yeah, this could be a lot of fun. I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go check this out while I'm there. I'll let you know what I think.
Yeah, I really like Star Wars Destinies quite a bit. I think that's a fun game.
Mm,
Um, Same publishing company. The concern I have is, what does this look like a couple years down the road? They have Fantasy Flight has kind of moved away from several of their um, collectible games, from my understanding. At least like Star Wars Destiny just kind of got axed at one point. So
right.
I don't know. I don't know what that looks like in their future. If I assume if it does well, it's going to sell. They're going to keep making stuff for it, but who knows? Who knows what that bar is? But I don't need the collectible part of it. I can just get
Right.
enough to play the game and then make that the fun for me.
Yep.
So
Yep.
anyway, that's my number two, Star Wars Unlimited.
Cool. Cool. My number two. Again, this is one that I don't think has made the preview list. This is secret insider information because I was a backer on the Kickstarter for the big box for the big brother of this game. And this game that I'm being really shady about is the
Big
Western
Brother.
Legends.
Big Brother, the board game.
Ah,
Right.
if only has someone not made that yet, that would be great. We should check into that. This is no, the game I'm talking about is Western Legends Showdown. This will be um, for sale in a very limited capacity, potentially demoed. I'm not sure. Western Legends Showdown is a two-player, 20-minute micro dueling game designed by Erwin Record. Again, Western Legends, if you know anything about it, is a big sandboxy Western style game where you're playing as these legends from the old time um, Western time period of the U.S. And there's train robbing and poker playing and gold mining and robbing and marshaling and all these different things. You can do whatever you want to do in this game. It's big, big enough to require a big box. And I really enjoy Western Legends. Dean, I know you do too. This is a micro game of that. This is a dueling game. It's actually a trick taking card game. that is set in the Western Legends universe, and you're competing to seize the control of a Western town. And so I think in the game, not a whole lot of information out there, but what I can glean is that there are 7 different locations you can choose from, and you're going to select 3 and put them out between the two of you, and you are competing over these locations. And each location has certain rules that will determine how the players can win tricks and play their cards. And so that's all I know about it so far, other than the fact that the card art looks amazing because it looks like the Western Legend art. And I'm a sucker for that. And I'm a sucker for poker cards because that's also the style that they're done in. And this game is going to be on sale for $10. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think this sounds cool. I love the idea of this. It uses that same artwork,
Hmm.
which draws me in. I love the art for Western Legend. the The question I have is, when we say micro game, I think 18-20 cards, something along those. I don't see on here where it says how many cards are in here.
Mm-mm.
Um, but that's interesting. If it is an actual micro game that only uses that many cards, and it's a trick taking game, I'm intrigued by
Right.
that. I wonder how that works. But if it's a two player only, you don't really need a lot of cards. So I guess that's, yeah. I'm
How many?
intrigued. I'm interested in this.
I'm curious. I know you recently put up um, a MeepleTown mini for Northwood,
Yeah,
and I am curious how many cards were in that game. That's a
a lot.
solo trick taking game. A lot. Okay, because I'm sitting. Because
Hmm.
I had the same question. This is a micro trick taking game. There's only 18, 20 cards. And again, we're saying 18 because that's typically what Button Shy and other
Yeah,
micro game publishers have done. That would really be. But I guess it would make sense for it to be a 20-minute game and you're competing over 3 different locations, 18 cards limits. I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe so. But
yeah.
like I said,
Now,
don't know.
i- it's different though. The for Northwood, you actually do kind of need that many cards though. It's weird because you're flipping cards over, but you start off with 8 cards, but you can end up with a lot more than that potentially that you're going through. So I've gone through almost all the cards in the deck in a game. So yeah, but in this one, if it's head to head, I almost feel like you could need less than that.
Right.
It's yeah. That's I'm really interested in this, and not enough to put on my number 2. That's crazy high.
Yeah, this is one that I may be running for because it's limited. They're only going to have a few copies there, so I may run and grab that one. That is number 2 for me. Western Legends Showdown.
There we go. All
Yep,
right,
that's
cool game. My number 1 is another collectible card game. Look at there.
it.
Look at that. 2 collectible card games, and I'm not even a collectible card guy at all.
You are now.
Well, I have done some, like the what's that one? Marvel. What is that one called? My goodness.
Collectible card game from Marvel. I don't know, man.
Avengers versus X-Men. This is Dice. Oh my goodness, it was on my top list for a
Dice
long time.
Masters, is that a thing?
Dice Masters is it. That's it. Yep.
Hmm.
I did get into that one. I collected a lot of this stuff for that one, and there might be another game that I did. But this one is Disney, not Star
Ooh.
Wars. This is Disney Lorcana by Ravensburger. Now there's a little lawsuit going on with this, but it's not slowing down Ravensburger. They're just like, nope, we're not even listening. We're not even going to acknowledge it. We're just gonna keep pushing forward. The lawsuit is not with the IP itself, though. It is with the designer who left ultra not
Upper
ultra
Deck.
pro upper deck. There we go. Upper
Yeah.
deck. Oh goodness, I should look these things up. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah. The lawsuit is actually against the designer and Ravensburger and jointly. I want to say there's like 3 different types of lawsuits going on in there. So good
that's
stuff.
right. That's right. So who knows what that's going to end up on the other side? My guess is it doesn't hinder the release of this game. It doesn't seem like it is hindering the release at all.
I have heard reports that they have canceled some events dealing with Lorcana at Gen Con, but again, that could just be hearsay and that could also not be related at all to the lawsuit. But they are still having several events that are sold out and sold out within minutes.
Okay. Okay. Now this one is also listed as a as a demo. But originally, I thought they said they were going to have some for sale, or maybe you're actually demoing this, right? So you have a better idea than I do.
I actually won't be demoing it because they all sold out and I couldn't get to it.
Oh, right, right, okay, yeah.
But some of the events, my understanding is you're paying to go to the event to demo it, and you get like a starter pack, and you get to keep that, and then you can use that to move on further into some of the other special events like tournaments they'll be having there. So I
So
don't know
not
if
for
it'll.
sale, but you can win copies.
I think that's the deal, or you can purchase copies if you're in those demo groups, and but again, that's not 100% sure.
Yeah, my hope for this one, I don't want to go all in. There is a lot of stuff that you can buy for this, and I can't do that. There's a lot of other things I'd rather spend my money on. However, I would like to get some maybe some starter decks or
Mhm.
something, maybe some booster packs or something like that. My middle sister, I think, is my target. Now she lives about an hour away, but I'm hoping that I can get her to get some stuff for this and maybe play against her kids or other family members. But we're a big Disney family. She likes games. Her kids like games. My family likes games. So my family I think would enjoy this as well. So who knows? Who knows who's going to play this with me? Maybe nobody, but I still want to pick up some stuff for it.
I play with you. I'm with you, I want to pick up a few starter packs and maybe a booster or two. One of the collector deals that comes with the boxes you can store them in that has some extra booster packs, and I'm hoping that that's just enough. I would like to try it. I think the art on these cards are beautiful. It's all original art, and being able to play with these characters again. I want just a good Disney game that I can feel like I'm playing around with some of the characters. The Disney Smash Up does a little bit of that. The Disney Villainous games do a little bit of that. Um, the new Disney animated game coming out from what is that? Prospero Hall and Funko, I think, gives you some chance. I just want to play with the characters, and so this may be a good setting to do that. And the art is just gorgeous enough to make me want to pick up a few packs too. So I'm
Yeah,
there with you.
and there's Disney Arena, which has that as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
wasn't as big of a fan of that though.
yeah, I just got it played this weekend actually, and jury's still out on this one. But given the option, I'd rather play Unmatched, and it's not even close
That's
for me.
That's exactly how I was. I wanted it to be Unmatched, and it tries to do some of the things that Unmatched does, but Unmatched just does it better, and so it's hard to look over that just because they're Disney characters. So,
Yeah, and I like having a team. That's the other thing. I wish Unmatched.
mm.
Honestly, I wish Unmatched would make this, but have the team aspect and not just the 1v1 kind of thing.
You
I
can
would
play
love that.
team. You can play team, and you can play battle royale.
No, I'm sorry. For Disney, I like the idea that you have the team. You're playing a 3v3.
Mm.
Not that you and I are teaming up against two other people, but the
Gotcha.
fact
I'm
that you
with you.
have a team that you're playing with, which I guess you could do that anyway, but it would be a little more difficult. The thing that Disney Arena does well is you're just mixing all those cards
Right.
together, and so I do like that aspect a lot. I just prefer the
Yeah.
system of Unmatched better.
Yeah. Agreed.
So anyway, that's Disney Lorcana. That would be one that if at all possible, I would have, tried to get in that demo line. But I would imagine I'm not the only one that wants to do that. Apparently, there's a lot of people.
Thousands upon thousands, my friend.
So let's
You
hear your
know,
number one.
my number
Oh,
one. This is another one that I will probably try to get in line and run to because the sales of this are going to be limited, and it will be up for demo, I believe, and partially for sale. This is the game that its counterpart. This is part of a Kickstarter that happened at the beginning of the year, and this was the one that I said, you know what, this is going to be a big fat Kickstarter, and I need a little extra money. What part of my body can I sell to be able to fund this Kickstarter? I wasn't like Dean. I wasn't like considering my kidneys, but I did think my plasma, it's just sitting there. I'm not using it. Might as well help
mm,
somebody while helping myself. And so I use blood money to back Marvel United Multiverse.
that's
Okay.
dedication.
That is dedication. And so my number one game at Gen Con is their way of getting around Wave 1 shipping. They said instead of shipping people out a base game, uh, early and then waiting several months later to ship out the rest of the stuff. We're just going to do one wave shipping, make everybody happy who's thinking about shipping prices. We're going to give you one solid game that you can buy in retail in the summer. And that game is Marvel United Spider-Geddon. That's right. You heard me. Marvel United Spider-Geddon. This is this again, like I said, part of that multiverse not part of the multiverse campaign, but spawned by the multiverse campaign that made $4.8 million from Simon. Looking at you, Mordred. Where are you at?
Wow.
But Spider-Geddon is sort of the answer to two-wave shipping. This is designed by Andrea Shiv. I always pronounce this name. Chirvezio. Forgive me, Andrea. And Eric Lang. And this is set to it's set for a regular retail release in October. And I know like a few weeks ago there was a false listing on Amazon saying it was going to be out the 1st of August. You only get it at Gen Con and then a retail in October. This is all the multiverse goodness that you can include, all the Spider-Verse goodness that Marvel United can give you. Some of the heroes in this are, well, before I even get to that, if you're not familiar with Marvel United, again, it's a very light, chibi style miniature game, cooperative style, where you're playing cards out to take various actions, to move your heroes, to take out villains, and you're moving around the cards and these locations in a circular fashion. And whatever card you play, you get to use those icons on your card. And when your partner plays, they get to use the icons on your card and their card. And so you can always use the icons from the previous player to help you take your actions. You're moving, you're fighting, you're scheming, you're knocking out henchmen, you're rescuing civilians. It's a lot of light fun. And all of the expansion stuff really brings these Marvel United games to life. And so I'm super excited what Spider-Geddon can bring to the system, because some of the heroes that are in this game are Symbiote Spider-Man, Scarlet Spider, Silk, Spider-Man Noir, which I still can't hear or think of without thinking about Nick Cage in the Across the Spider-Verse movies. The Penny Parker, Spider-Punk. You've got some anti-heroes. These are people you can play as heroes or as villains, and it's going to have Anti-Venom and Superior Spider-Man, where Doc Ock became Spider-Man. And then you've got some of the villains, like, I can never pronounce the name, Marloon,
I think so. Marlon.
Yeah, that guy, and Spot. So the sculpts look great. The powers in this game look great. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I haven't looked into this at all, even though you've talked to me about it a lot. But I am intrigued by this. I like this game a lot. And the heroes are cool. And having just seen Spider-Verse,
Yep.
Spot, playing against Spot would be fantastic. Playing with Spider-Punk and Spider-Man Noir and Penny Parker, those are the ones I'm most excited about out of those, I think. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. You're right. You win.
And like I said, I feel like the Gen Con preview list, there are a few heavy games in there. None of them really spoke to me, but there weren't a lot of them. Most of the games on my list are really light. But man, there's something about the theme or the designers or what they're doing that just seems fun. And that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for fun. And I feel like this has a lot of fun in these lists.
Yep. Yeah, I'd want to check this out for sure. I would guess I'll just have to wait till October then to pick this one up. But I probably will pick this up.
Cool.
Or you could pick it up for me. I could paint your copy for it. I could sell my painting skills. I'm not going to do that though. That's too much work.
So you have so many miniatures you're trying to paint. There ain't no way.
Do you know how many miniatures I have of Marvel United that I've not painted?
Less than me, because I don't paint any of them.
Yeah,
and I've got them all.
It's a lot. I've painted a decent amount from the first Kickstarter, but by a decent amount, I mean not even half, or about half of those, I guess. But from the X-Men, I've only painted the base set. I've not painted anything else from that. It's a lot more that I would need to paint. That's why I had to stop just like going all in on these, because it's just too much. And now that I've started it, I don't want to play with any of the ones that are unpainted. I have to be very selective about the ones that I'm going for.
Right.
And I haven't painted in a minute. I haven't painted these in a minute. I've been painting other things. So, yep. I'm excited about this though. That's cool. I'm glad that they're doing. I kind of like how they've been releasing some of that
Mhm.
stuff. Just at weird times. The price point on all of these games is really fantastic. Um, but you can go whole hog on it if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just go with the smaller sets. I say kudos to Come On Games for the way that they've been releasing these.
Yep. Agreed. This is one of those that I feel pretty excited about through and through with the way they have tried to give the fans what they want. People can complain all they want about the shipping prices. Yeah, that sucks. But but the actual campaign and how they do it, I feel like you really couldn't do it any better. The way they take care of the people, again, just trying to give people what they want so they can have some fun with the fam and with the friends. It's good
Yep.
stuff.
I agree. So that is Darren's number one. That is Marvel United Spider-Geddon or something along those lines.
That's it.
All right. I'm not going to say my number one. I've already done my number one. What I was going to say is if you want to get in touch with us, if you have news you want to share with us, if you have, your Gen Con picks, let us know. What are your Gen Con picks? And if you want to do that, connect with us on the Guild and Discord, particularly on the Discord. There's a lot of great conversation going on there. You can find the link to that through our Guild, or if you just reach out to us, MeepleTown Mail, we can send you the link for that. I think that's probably the best way to do that at this point in time. If you want to connect with us on social media, it's at MeepleTown Games on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and probably some other places that I'm missing. There's lots of places to connect with us. But again, Discord and Guild number 3407 on BoardGameGeek.com. Until next time, thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.
Later.
Thanks for joining us, and thanks to our Patreon supporters for making content like this possible. If you would like to become a Patreon supporter, go to patreon.com/MeepleTown. To follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, find us at MeepleTown Games. Finally, to connect with us and other residents of MeepleTown, you can join Guild 3407 at BoardGameGeek.com. Until next time, thanks for coming down to MeepleTown.